Hi, this is Greg Hughes from 90 Second Website Builder. In this video, I want to go a little bit behind the scenes in 90 Second Website Builder and show you what this software does kind of in the background. Now, this information is not critical that you know this, but it has come up a couple of times where people can get confused about where all their stuff is. When you open up a 90 Second Website Builder project, like I have open on my screen right now, of course it defaults to just one page called index and a blank screen. But as you build your project or as you build your website, you're going to have multiple pages, and these pages will be added to the Site Manager and listed here. So let me open up a project and show you an example of what I want. So you may or may not know this, but when you create a project, 90 Second Website Builder is smart enough to store that project file in your Documents folder. And in your Documents folder is a folder called 90 Second Website Builder. We're in mine right now, and as you can see, I have a number of projects. Each one of these blue icons is a 90 Second Website Builder project, which means each one of these is a website on its own. Now, I have a bunch because I use it a lot. You may only have one project, so your folder would look considerably different than mine. But I have several 90 Second Website Builder websites or projects. I'm making templates and demos and whatnot here. Now, for every project or for every website, 90 Second also creates what's called an Assets folder of the same name. Inside this Assets folder are the images and some things that your website needs. So, for example, I've got a website here called Drag and Drop. That's one of my demo websites that I use for making videos and teaching you things. So, this is a website or a project stored inside one single WBS file. Everything is stored in a single file. No matter how many pages are on my website, it's stored in a single file called Drag and Drop. In this case, that means I also have an Assets folder called Drag and Drop. You can go see that up here. And as you can see, if I double click on that, mostly what's stored in here are just the images that website needs. Now, I didn't have to put these images in here. 90 Second Website Builder did it for me. As I was working on my project, as I was working on this website and dragging images from my desktop or from folders or from other places all over my computer, in the background, 90 Second was making a copy of those images and storing them up here in my Assets folder for this project right here. So it's important to know that for every website that you build or every WBS project, you have two items, the WBS project file itself and an Assets folder. Okay, I think I've made that abundantly clear, but I want to make sure you know how this works. Let's open up one of these projects so you can see even more clearly what I mean. So if I open up Drag and Drop, I'm just double clicking and it will launch 90 Second Website Builder. You can see I have this project. Well, this particular project has some 11 pages, and yet you'll notice it was all stored in one file called dragandrop.wbs. So when I want to edit my website or when I want to edit a page, I still go back to that same file, come inside here, and I edit whatever page I want to work on. If I wanted to work on the support page here, I could double click on it and I could start putting things in place on the support page. My index page is here, my products page here, etc. Okay, so that's how 90 Second works. And while you're editing your website, everything will be stored in this one project. The reason I bring this up is because sometimes people will say, hey, I want to just go open up my index page. Can I just do that? Well, not really. What you would do is you would open up the project. And then within the project, you would open up your index page because everything's stored in one compact and complete place. One project equals one website. However, once we publish our website, once we send it to the web or send it to our own local desktop, that's when 90 Second does its magic. It takes this one project and it generates or converts this one single project into multiple files, all of the files that we will need for our project to become a bona fide web-friendly website. So if I were to publish this one project by hitting the Publish button, which I've done it this way. I'm going to actually, instead of publishing to a web server, I'm going to publish it to my local desktop so I can show you what it looks like. Now, if I publish it to the web server, the same thing would happen. We just wouldn't see it as easily. What would happen is 90-second would take this one project. It would generate all of the necessary files and web pages I need for my website, and then it would upload them to my server all in one fell swoop. Basically, one click of the publish button would accomplish all of that. In my case, I've published to my local computer, my desktop, so that we can go in and take a look at what happens. So I've published my website. It has saved it in a folder here that I've called demo. Let me get to it. This demo folder contains the files that were generated when I published my project. Okay, so let's look at this again. So again, my WBS project, my one file, gets published. When it gets published, all of these files then, and these are separate files now, all get generated because 90-second has converted its WBS project into all of the necessary web-friendly files, HTML documents, CSS documents, JavaScript. In my case, my website requires 2 JavaScripts, a CSS file, all these HTML files. It even created an images folder to store all of the images that will be necessary for this particular website. That all happens in one click. Now, these are the files that have to go on a web server. And these are the files that would be generated and uploaded to the web server had I published directly to the server. But again, I published to my computer so you can take a look at it. So yes, now I could look at these pages independently if I wanted to. So if I wanted to just look at my index page, I could double click on it and that will open up my local web browser so I can see. In my case, I use Firefox, and I'm just simply opening up a HTML document on my computer. I could even open up this document in another web editing program, any other kind of a HTML editor, like say Dreamweaver, because now these are just all conventional HTML documents that can be opened up in any HTML editor and can be uploaded to any web server. So you see what's happening when you're in edit mode. You're working in one format. You're working in a WBS format, the 90-second website builder's format, that allows you to do all the things you love about 90-second, like drag things into place. You can't do that in an HTML document. You can only do that in 90-second website builder. And then 90-second converts that to these conventional files that can be read on the internet. So one more thing, remember that when you're doing this and you publish your website, you're publishing a copy of your website because it's generating new files and making them web friendly. You now have a copy of your website in a different format. So over here, I've got the original project or website in the 90-second format. And over here, I've published it, a copy of it, in conventional HTML format, the files that will go to the internet. So when you make changes to your website, you don't have to worry about these files. You go back to your 90-second project, you make the changes, and you republish. And those new published files would replace whatever has changed over here. So you don't need to worry about where your files are because 90-second website builder manages all of that for you in the background. But it has come up. People have asked, hey, where are my files? And this is what's happening to them. But to make it easy, you really never need to do that. All you need to do is keep working with your files all in your project file. They're all here in one file. And then when you're ready to publish, click the button, send them to your web server. If you don't know how to do that yet, watch the video on publishing your website to your host, and you'll find that once it's set up, it's really easy to do. Okay, so I hope that kind of clarifies some of the things that happen in the background. And you can kind of see how 90-second website builder is really doing a lot of things that behind the scenes that you don't even know about. That's making this software as wonderful as it is because it's doing a lot of the work for you. I hope that helps you, and I hope that clarifies some things as you continue to learn how to use 90-second website builder.